Hey, welcome to another episode of Fitness Odyssey.
Today I'm going to talk about a common topic, and that's high-intensity interval training, or HIIT for short.
Is anaerobic training better than aerobic training, or is aerobic training better than anaerobic training? Which one has more calories burned? Which is a better type of exercise? Should I be doing 15 minutes of high-intensity interval training, or should I be running on a treadmill for an hour?
So firstly, I should probably start off with what is cardiovascular fitness. Cardiovascular fitness, or CRF, can be used to determine mortality or morbidities.
We know that progressive increases in endurance training can trigger adaptations to the cardiac muscle.
The whole heart muscle thickens, the left ventricle expands, and improves your cardiac function during exercise. It can also improve things like your VO2 max, resting heart rate, blood pressure, and blood volume.
The American College of Sports Medicine defines HIIT training as repeated bouts of high-intensity effort with varied recovery times. The awesome thing is that high-intensity interval training is good for almost all populations. It's actually shown to be really good for certain populations that have chronic conditions. The key to understanding it is knowing that high intensity is different for every individual. High intensity for an obese individual is going to be different than the high intensity for your average athlete.
A big misconception about high-intensity interval training is that you're going to get jacked, like you're just going to get massive muscles like a Spartan body or something. But no, you're actually not even going to get that much muscle mass unless you're someone who hasn't really worked out that much. It's really good for maintaining muscle mass, but depending on how long you're doing these intervals, if you're doing it for a long period of time, maybe you can look at it, but it requires a solution of volume, specific intensity, and rest that all equals up to muscle mass or gaining muscle size.
ACSM showed a bunch of health benefits from HIIT training. It improves your aerobic and anaerobic fitness, your blood pressure, cardiovascular health, insulin activity, which helps the exercising muscles more readily use sugar for fuel to make energy, cholesterol profiles, abdominal fat, and body weight, while maintaining muscle mass. But when you hear HIIT, you often hear EPOC.
What is EPOC?
EPOC is excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, commonly called afterburn. It's a measurable increased rate of oxygen uptake that occurs after strenuous exercise, which is intended to catch up with the oxygen deficit that occurred because of the exercise. Because you're breathing more, using more oxygen, you demand more. In recovery, EPOC is used to restore the body to its resting state, the resting levels of oxygen. It also helps adapt the body to the exercise it just performed. It helps hormone balancing, replenishing the fuel stores, cellular repair, innervation of your nerves. Lactic acid is produced during exercise, and that travels into your bloodstream, then goes to the kidneys, your heart, and your liver. An increased amount of oxygen is necessary to turn the lactic acid into pyruvic acid, which further down the line is used for ATP, or energy. Another use for EPOC is to help fuel the body for thermoregulation, so adapting to those changes in body temperature after exercise. You're going to heat up when your body's working like a factory to move you around and lift weight. Aerobic exercise burns more calories itself within that workout, but anaerobic exercises, like high-intensity interval training, increase your caloric expenditure for a longer portion after your workout. But all this poses controversy. Well, a lot of articles have 6 to 8 to 12 people, which makes it very hard to get a valid answer. In one article I found, comparing HIIT training and endurance training, the HIIT program induced a more pronounced loss of fat. But I had to find something that's more concrete. So I found a meta-analysis. This meta-analysis with 10 studies with 273 patients involved. The sample was based on chronic conditions that was due to poor lifestyle choices. HIIT training significantly increased cardiorespiratory fitness by almost double that of endurance training. And there was a significantly higher VO2 max as well. Again, this is also on chronic disease patients. Okay, so let's outweigh the pros and cons of both. HIIT training provides higher intensities that can be more enjoyable for experienced exercisers. There are more exercises available to do. HIIT training provides EPOC, up to 2 hours, plus 6 to 15% more calories burned than endurance training. HIIT training increases your VO2 max. It is also a lot shorter duration than moderate intensity endurance training. It's also more exhausting, and you can do less days of HIIT training. Moderate intensity endurance training has long, slow sessions and are usually boring and repetitive, Often few exercises are available, especially inside. You'll still have EPOC for up to 2 hours after. You will also still increase your VO2 max. It's a longer duration. It takes a big chunk out of your day. It's usually less exhausting, and you can do it more often. Check out the ACSM link below for some more information on high-intensity interval training. So what is the verdict? If you're trying to practice for a half marathon or marathon, it might be more beneficial for you to do long-distance runs to get the technique and the endurance down. But if you're training just looking to burn calories and get a good exercise in throughout your week, just to stay active, high-intensity interval training is probably the type of exercise for you. Alright, that's Fitness Odyssey. Send me your questions so I can answer them. You can also check out the link to Nugs on SoundCloud.com for some awesome workout beats. I'll see you in 2 weeks. I'm Skylar.
Sustain your body, sustain your life.
Thanks for watching.